Hey everyone! So today, we're going to get into something that might surprise you. We're diving into the secret behind a truly perfect focaccia. And nope, it's not the flour, it's not the yeast, it's all about the pan. I mean, just look at that. That golden, ridiculously crispy bottom with that light, airy inside. That's the dream right there. But how do you actually get that result? Well, the answer is in a story of two very, very different pans. And that's what we're going to unpack today. See, this isn't just about picking out some kitchenware. This is a clash of cooking philosophies. On one side, you've got a tool that demands a kind of partnership, one that's shaped by tradition and how you use it. And on the other, you've got a product engineered for one thing and one thing only: pure, simple convenience. So let's get into it. Our story, a tale of two pans. And to really get what makes them so different, we have to go back, way back. You know, the name focaccia comes from the Latin panis focaccius, which literally means hearthrug, because that's how it was originally made, baked right on hot stones next to the fire. So moving to iron pans, that was a massive technological leap. It finally let bakers capture that intense, hearth-like heat, but in a way they could control and repeat. And that brings us to our first character in this story, the traditional iron pan. The best way to think of it is as the elder statesperson of baking, a tool that actually has a memory. An iron pan is just a total powerhouse. It has what's called high thermal mass, which is a fancy way of saying it gets screaming hot and stays screaming hot. It just blasts the dough with energy, which you absolutely need for that perfect crust. But its surface is reactive, so it has to be cared for. In return for that little bit of effort, though, you get a pan that could literally outlive you and your kids. And the science behind that prep work is fascinating. It's called seasoning. This is where you heat oil on the iron until it hits a point of polymerization. The molecules in the oil literally link together and bond with the metal itself, creating this natural, super durable, semi-non-stick coating. It's pretty amazing. And this isn't some quick rinse in the sink. No, it's a ritual. You have to clean the pan, apply a microscopically thin layer of oil, and then bake it at a really high heat until it starts to smoke. And then you do it again and again. With every single cycle, you're building up that protective layer, that patina. And this quote just captures the magic of it all. It's not just a dead piece of metal anymore. Every single time you bake a focaccia, the oils from the dough actually reinforce that seasoning, making the pan even better. It literally evolves with you. It becomes a living surface. Okay, so now let's turn to our second pan and really see the contrast. Enter the modern challenger, the nonstick pan. It was designed for a totally different world. A nonstick pan is basically the opposite of living. Its surface is engineered in a factory, usually with a coating like Teflon. It's static. It performs perfectly on day one, and from that moment on, it only gets worse. This isn't a family heirloom. It's a consumable tool you expect to replace. And the thinking behind it is what's really key here. The nonstick pan was literally created to eliminate the problems of the iron pan. That whole ritual of seasoning, the risk of rust, the need to know what you're doing. It is built for one thing: getting the job done easily and predictably, right out of the box. Okay, so we've met our two contenders. One is all about craft, the other is all about convenience. Now let's put them to the test, the ultimate test, creating that perfect focaccia crust. So here's the deal. The iron pan's intense, steady heat is what drives the Maillard reaction. That's the beautiful chemical process that gives bread its deep brown color and toasty flavor. It basically fries the bottom of the dough. A nonstick pan, on the other hand, is designed to be more moderate. It avoids those hot spots, but the trade-off is way less browning and a much milder, less interesting flavor. And right here, you can see exactly what that means. The iron pan takes that pale, raw dough and, through that intense heat, forges this deep, golden, crispy bottom. That right there is the Maillard reaction in action. It's why bakers call it half-baked, half-fried. A nonstick surface, well, it just can't get hot enough or hold that heat in the same way to get this result. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, it really just boils down to a choice between two completely different ways of thinking about cooking. The iron pan, over time, becomes this record of every meal you've ever cooked in it. It's like a repository of culinary memory. The nonstick pan, that's an emblem of modern efficiency. It's designed to make life easier, faster, more predictable. They just serve totally different purposes. So which one is right for you? It honestly just depends on what you're trying to do. If you are chasing that truly authentic, deeply flavorful, crisp-bottomed focaccia that feels like it has a connection to tradition, the iron pan is your only real choice. But if you just want to get dinner on the table with no fuss, easy cleanup, and super predictable results, then yeah, the nonstick pan is the practical tool for the job. So in the end, it really comes down to this. One pan creates character, both in your food and in the tool itself. The other preserves convenience, freeing you from all that ritual and effort. So, when you think about your own kitchen and your own cooking, which one are you going to choose?